And welcome back to the Bart Curtis Show. We're talking now to the head coach of the Warsaw Tigers, Coach Bart Curtis. Coach, thanks for being with us here. And let's start talking about the WAWASEE game. That's where we're at in the season here. And Tigers came around with a really solid victory over the Warriors last night and keep the W trophy. So give us some of your overall thoughts about last night's game.
Well, Dave, always a pleasure, and I appreciate you having me on. I was asked that, hey, how you feeling this morning?
Right.
And, mixed emotions. Now, that being said, I am very happy that the trophy is resting next door in our coach's office instead of making its way back to Syracuse, Indiana. So
Absolutely.
From that aspect, we're excited about that. Obviously, you were there and you saw some of our where we got exposed and where we need to do a better job of our defense getting off the field when they have the opportunity. The first drive was 14 plays, and credit goes to WAWASEE High School
Absolutely.
for having their kids ready, coming out and finding those gaps in our defense, and executing at a high level. They came ready to play, and I made the comment to both post-game reporters last night.
Mm-hmm.
I said that I had breakfast with you Friday morning, as we do every Friday morning, and you made the comment, which really concerned me, that when one team's having a good year and the other team isn't, that makes for a dogfight.
A lot of times it does,
in
yeah.
a W game.
Mm-hmm.
And no truer words could have been spoken, because for 2.5, 3 quarters, the game was in the balance. We weren't pulling ahead by large amounts, even though we scored every time we had the ball,
Right.
Except for once, which we fumbled, which was my fault. I'll go into later. I didn't actually fumble.
No, but yeah,
long
okay.
story. I'm sure you've heard it.
Mm.
But you know what? These are things that we can improve on
Right.
defensively. That we got to tackle a little better in the open field. Seems to be a recurring theme, but we are getting better. And I'm not distraught about how we played. We've just got to be more consistent. I was in film this morning with Coach Huber, Coach Callhorn, and the defense. And even though we don't want to give up any points, we want goose eggs.
Sure.
We were in position the majority of the time. And once again, it came down to a couple big plays that they executed, and credit to them that they kept drives alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And as Coach Troy and I are up there, we're calling the game on WIOE or WLQZ rather, 93.8. But anyways, that's what struck me is that WAWASEE, first of all, they've got some good athletes. Those kids can play.
Yeah, they can get up and run too. Yeah,
and they got some size, and there's some key players there that are going to be back next year. So definitely a credit overall to them, and also just the overall atmosphere of this game. There's a lot of ties between the two schools. Troy was a former coach there, an administrator there. I, of course, graduated from there. We can go up and down the list here. So it makes it kind of a family affair between the two schools, but yet once the whistle blows and stuff, the competition, the teams go at each other.
They do, and I think it was a good, clean, hard-fought game. And our borders touch. We share Barbie Lake and
Absolutely.
Chino Lakes and Chapman Lake and whatnot, and
the kids play on AAU teams together and all that kind of stuff. So.
And back when they were younger, and it was the Kosciuszko County Football League.
Right.
Some of them may have even been teammates.
Sure.
From that aspect, I don't know how that was set up.
Right.
When they had the county league, but their kids were they fought hard.
Absolutely.
They were respectful. They executed their game plan. And you can see that they're going to get better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I loved Coach Rudabaugh's quote in the paper this morning. And normally I don't get up, read the paper.
Right.
It happened to be there. One of the things that Tiger Talk, they print off the articles.
Right.
And Coach Rudabaugh said, he was pleased with how they executed, pleased with how much improvement the boys have made. And then he went out and said, this is going to set us up, and we are going to win our last 2 ball games.
Oh, yeah.
Against Memorial and Goshen. So,
Yeah.
I thought that was, hey, you know what? Lay the cards out
Yeah, that's
there.
good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Sure. All right, Coach, let's talk quickly about just overall performances. I thought, performances from your quarterback and your fullback. Of course, those guys, did a lot of the work out there. But also, I thought, too, and we talk about this a lot, the offensive line just, I felt like, especially the second half, just dominated. I mean, whatever they wanted to do, they were able to do, basically. That's the way I felt about it.
They enjoy the tools of their trade.
Yeah.
And it seems like every week we talk about them. We're blessed to have 6 senior offensive linemen. Not a lot of people can say that.
No.
And we get them on the field at the same time in our balanced stuff. And then I really think they get a sick pleasure of building a tsunami and driving opponents, defenders backwards. So, it's they're a fun group. Sometimes the O-line never gets mentioned. And these guys seem to get mentioned a lot, but they do a nice job, and they're worth mentioning again, like from left to right. Austin Meads, Kyle Miller, Brock Huber's our snapper, Jake Dessenberg, Griffin Reed, and who am I missing? Angel Mendez.
Yeah.
So when those 6 are on the field, and they derive great joy from doing their task and doing it in an aggressive manner. And Wyatt played his best game.
Oh, yeah, I think he did too.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, his mobility and stuff, it looks like he's healed up, and he was definitely at 100%
What
last
I
night.
liked was there was no less than 6 or 8 times when he checked us out of a play that was okay into a play that was far better.
Right.
And that is going to be huge here, heading into the month of October and November.
Yeah.
And then, Juan Adamilo had, another solid game with 200 yards rushing. And we're starting to click a little bit offensively.
Yeah, I think that too. And as we've been talking there's tape that people are seeing the tape and stuff. And tsunami is the right word. When you see that offensive line, it's just a black wave that's driving forward, and they just cover people up. And we're going to get several yards as a result of that, just off the snap, which is impressive to me.
You hope to.
And,
and it's been gradually getting better, and of course you work with those kids as an O-line coach, so you see them at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, and work with them, so you know that what kind of kids they are.
Absolutely.
They're fun-loving. They're easy to coach. Easy to coach. They don't have any answers.
No.
They don't look at you and shrug their shoulders. They don't have an excuse when things don't go well. They just nod their heads and go about their trade.
Absolutely.
And Coach David Cutcliffe from Duke said, the offensive lineman, and if you ever get a chance to see that video clip, it's priceless. He goes, they're the most selfless human beings in sport.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Who else will take 0 credit and sacrifice their bodies play after play for the good of the team so other people can get the credit?
Right. Just to summarize then, overall, it was a great performance there. Offensive line did their job. The defense, definitely got better as the game went on, I thought. And, it's a challenge, but still they gave up 18 points, and that's not a terrible amount of points.
2 field goals, 2 touchdowns, an extra point and a missed extra point. And I, like I said, I sat in film this morning for a while before Tiger Talk. And the thing that we've got to do is when it's time to get off the field.
Right.
Get off the field.
Right.
When we've got a team 2nd and 12, 3rd and 15, and you've got an opportunity to get off the field and rest, because when you allow a team 3 or 4 more snaps, then you are also playing those 3 or 4 more snaps.
Right.
And, every time that a team snaps the ball, there's no guarantees.
Right.
Something bad could happen. So, we could lose a tackle, get the ball thrown over our head. So when we have opportunities to get the defense off the field and get them over on the bench and get the iPads out, we got to be able to do that.
Right.
And we're struggling with that right now,
Right.
mightily.
Right. All right, Coach, let's take a quick look forward here. It's a week of planning and preparing for the Northwood Panthers. And I got to tell you, of course, I grew up around here as you did. And, of course, you were a former Panther. I'm a former Warrior. And being a Tiger coach and stuff, some of the greatest high school football games I've ever been involved in has been between Warsaw and Northwood Panthers. I mean, I'm talking about just close, tight games. Now, there's been other times when we've just gotten, the crap kicked out of us by the Panthers because they're that good and it's a solid program. But there's been fights that we've been in where it comes down to the last second field goals and stuff like that. And they're just exciting, good, hard football games when the Tigers are up to it to play the Panthers at their level.
And we expect nothing but that next week. Obviously, when you say Northwood High School, the sport of football comes to mind.
Absolutely.
By everybody. And let the record show they were kind enough to let me wear a uniform and be a part of that program. And it's a long, proud tradition.
Oh, absolutely.
And dating back for years.
Sure.
Last year we were in a Donnybrook.
Oh, yeah.
And took the ball with 10 minutes to go and ate up the fourth quarter, scored with a little over a minute to go, and then, went for the win. It
Sure.
didn't work out. They're scoring at great clips this year.
I saw that.
So Bronson Yoder graduates, goes to William & Mary, special teams player of the week in that conference. He's taken 2 kickoffs back.
Right.
And then, boy, a newcomer comes in.
Right.
And other people. I mean, they
passes the torch.
Yeah, they just reload. And, in some aspects, they might be more dangerous offensively. And no disrespect to Bronson.
Oh, no.
He's a
great athlete.
player.
Great athlete.
But now they're getting the ball.
Spreading it out.
Yeah, they seem to be a little more. But they're averaging, over 40 points a game. They're leading the conference in rushing, and that's saying something because I think we run the football fairly well too.
Absolutely.
But they're scoring at great clips. And the dangerous thing about Northwood, they've thrown, a little known fact, they've thrown 7 touchdown passes the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get stupid and you start bringing your safeties and corners up to defend the run, and they give you such unique formations,
right,
and they're looking for that edge, then when you get stupid and run a corner or safety to defend the run, they throw the ball over your head for a big gain. Yeah, so, and we like to do that too. We're
sure.
not as good as they are, but it's senior night. Our seniors, many of these kids, most of them have been in the program 4 years. And how quickly the season goes.
Oh, yeah.
And my wife and I, Sarah, are looking forward to having the seniors over next Wednesday night.
Sure.
With the coaches.
Yeah.
Pasta dinner that will.
Yeah, I'm sure. Absolutely.
I hope we can recover. But
yeah, really, for sure.
We'll be carbo loaded.
Yes, for sure.
But it's going to be a great atmosphere, and we're looking forward to a great contest.
Yeah.
And we can't worry about is Concord going to beat Plymouth?
Right.
Is Northwood going to beat Plymouth? Don't care.
Right.
Okay, we didn't take care of business, our own business.
Right.
So when you don't take care of your own business, then you got to worry about other people's business.
Right.
We're not going to fall into that. We're going to worry about Warsaw. We're not going to worry about the conference.
Right.
We're going to worry about Warsaw playing Northwood this week.
Absolutely, as it should be that way. And I tell you what, it promises to be a great battle and just a great contest between 2 really good programs, a solid Northwood program and a Warsaw program that, Coach, you're building into a strong program, and everyone's working together to make that happen. So I encourage everyone to get out and see the game this coming Friday night. It is a 7 o'clock kickoff this time because we're back to the normal time there, and it will be an incredible football game to watch. If you're best ticket in town, there's no question about it. So, Coach, thanks for being with us here, and we appreciate it, and we certainly wish you the best of luck as we square off against the Panthers this coming Friday night.
Thank you, Dave, and I plan on being there.
Absolutely. We'll be back with more of the Bart Curtis Show right after this. And welcome back, everyone, to the Bart Curtis Show. We're talking now to Jack Williamson. And Jack, this year, of course, and the last several years that I've been involved and been around Jack there, his main forte is defense. And Jack will strike you. There's no question about that. So, Jack, let's tell everybody what you do on defense. And, of course, you have an offensive role, too.
You know, it's just playing safety and making sure nothing comes out of the backfield and just protecting the long ball.
Okay, and then you do have some offensive duties also from time to time.
Yep, wide receiver most of the time, and also repping in at halfback just in case ever need be to play that position.
Right. Is there any one that you like better than the other, or you just whatever you are called upon to do, you're going to do it?
Whatever's needed, I'll play.
Yeah.
No preference.
All right. As far as it goes to your mentality when you're out there on the field defensively, and again, I've watched you from your time you've been a freshman on here. You seem to have no fear about playing that alley and going up and striking people. Is that something you get? I mean, is that something that really fires you up to do that?
Yeah, it's just I really want to stop them on big downs, and we're kind of struggling with that this year. And it's just something we have to focus on and keep going, get our whole defense going with.
Absolutely. And that's one thing, too, the overall scheme of the defense there. I think that Coach Huber and the defensive staff and all you guys working together there, it seems to me like, as you mentioned, we're struggling a little bit, but not overall terribly because, you guys aren't giving up a terrible amount of points, which is huge for a defense. But overall, how do you feel about the defense as far as it goes to working together and playing together as a team?
I think we're getting better from what's been going on, and I think that we can still get way better even. Like, there's just so much more potential for growth.
Absolutely. Okay, we got Northwood coming up. We're 6-1. Obviously this Northwood game is going to be a big game. What are some things you do personally to prepare for a big game, and maybe even as a group that you've seen the kids do, the defensive group do to prepare for a big game?
Just figure out what they want to do best, and also our weak spots, because obviously they're going to try to go for that against us and just try to patch that up so they can't attack us there.
Okay. All right. Well, Jack, we want to wish you the best of luck here as you go against Northwood. It's going to be senior night on Friday night. It's going to be a big game, and there'll be a great atmosphere. And, from the time that we've always talked, and I've been involved with you, I remember when we played Northwood as freshmen, and it was a tremendous football game for us. I mean, I remember the officials after that game, and they're freshman officials and stuff, and when they walked over and they were talking to us, coach says, man, that was a great football game for freshmen. Of course, the Tigers came out as a win on that, and you played a key role in that, which included blocking and punt and all that kind of stuff. But no, it's a great competition between the two schools there, and you do a great job, and we wish you the best of luck as we head into this Friday night against the Northwood Panthers. Thanks for talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back with more of the Bart Curtis Show. And welcome back, everybody, to the Bart Curtis Show. I'm in the midst of a couple of offensive linemen, my favorite kind of people, Kyle and Austin, and we want to talk to you guys about this offensive line because most of the time the offensive line isn't given a lot of credit. People don't pay much attention, but with you guys, that's not true. Everybody that I talk to talks about, man, that Warsaw offensive line, they're doing crazy things out there. So what do you guys, let's take just one at a time there. What are some things you think that make the offensive line special for the Warsaw Tigers? Kyle, go ahead.
How hard we work and all the technique that we put into, all the details that we put into making the plays work as they do.
Absolutely. Austin, what do you think?
I like what Kyle said, but I think it also helps that we have 1 year experience too.
Right.
So that also is really big.
Yeah. And the fact that it is a senior-dominated line, I mean, you all are seniors, so that makes it really great, too. And I got to say this, too. Of course, I'm around you guys, and I watch you practice, of course, and I try and get the freshmen to emulate you guys, which right now has been a struggle for us, but we're getting better each and every day there. But the amount of time that you guys spend on your technique, and Coach Michael and Coach Brady do an incredible job of working you guys, making sure you get your arms back, making sure you get your right footwork and all that kind of stuff. You feel like that really has paid off, and when did you guys really buy into that? Because as younger players and stuff, it's hard to get youngers, trust me, with the freshman group here, it's hard for them to understand how important this technique is. So at what point do you think that all clicked for you guys?
I think it was during TMT camp in the summer. All of it started to click, and it all made sense on how it worked, and it really showed too.
Absolutely.
Same. I think same with TMT camp. Got a lot of help.
Absolutely.
technique in a lot of things.
Well, and I think also you guys, I mean, even in the drills, and this is one thing I've been trying to emphasize to our freshman group too there, the intensity of how you guys practice your drills shows up when you guys are playing the football game. So there's no question about that. All right, so you guys call yourselves the Wild Hogs. And tell us a little bit about some of the Wild Hog things that you guys do as far as goes. I mean, isn't there a Wild Hog of the Week award and that kind of thing?
Yeah, there is. Whoever gets the most pancakes or the higher percentage on the grade sheets.
Okay, and then you get what is the award for the Wild Hog?
I think it's like a Route 66 sign.
Okay,
That says hogs on it.
okay, all right. Okay, that's great. All right, so and also, isn't there a boar's tooth involved in this or something? Or
a boar's tusk, yeah.
Right.
After, I think it's 3 days after the week of practice, they hand out the awards. We get the plate that says hogs, and then they hand us the tusk also.
Okay, and then what do you do? The tusk, does that go on a necklace or something, or whatever you want to do with it? Huh?
You can, yeah, whatever you want to do with it, it's ours after that.
Right, right. All right, so let's talk about the rest of you guys on the offensive line there. Do you guys like hang out together and that kind of thing too? I mean, even when you aren't at necessarily at football practice, or there's some things that you guys do, like you go out and eat like 6 pounds of hamburger each and stuff like that, or
Yeah, we'll go to Hacienda sometimes.
Okay.
Or hang out and watch some freshman games.
yeah.
Yeah.
How about do you ever do the running backs ever say, hey, come out and hang out with us, or or anything like that, or they ever say, hey, let's go out and you guys hang out with them any or not?
On occasion, yeah, we'll get invited to their special glorified group.
Well, they know that if it wasn't for you guys, they wouldn't. And I think, and that's been my experience in talking to those guys too, the quarterback and the running backs and stuff. They will freely admit that if their success they're having is all about you guys and what you guys do up front. So it's real. Of course, I've way back when I was an offensive lineman myself. I've always coached offensive linemen, so it's really neat to see the kind of desire and the kind of effort you guys give out there, because it is really neat things to watch. If you are a football coach and a real football fan, it's really cool. So thank you guys for everything you do. We appreciate it there. Got a big one coming up here with Northwood there. What's the plan for the week here as far as it goes to getting prepared for this big game?
I'll just keep on doing what we've been doing and just get better every week.
Okay. What do you think?
Make practice hard and make it more of a game feel, so when we get to that game, we know what we're doing, we're calm about it, we can actually play at the level that we know we can play at.
Yeah, and I think that's really a good point too. I think you guys do, by creating the situations in practice as much as you can, like it's a game time situation, that really pays off for you guys when you do get out there, because like you said, this isn't anything new. This is just what we do on a day-to-day basis. Thanks, guys, for being with us there. Good luck as we square off against the Panthers this Friday night. We encourage everyone to get out and see the game. It's going to be a fantastic battle between the Warsaw Tigers. We took care of WAWASEE last time, and of course the Northwood Panthers. We'll be back with more of the Bart Curtis Show right after this.
Coach Bart.